Hello everyone, and welcome to another StarCraft 2 replay. This is going to be a replay of myself as the Red Terran, as usual. On the map was Zelnaga Caverns, yes. My opponent is Stetter as the Blue Zerg, and this was the last of my 5 1v1 placement matches, after which I placed in the Platinum League. But this isn't the most amazing match ever, but it most certainly is entertaining. So, as always, I'm going to speed up the recording a little bit so we can get past the dull stuff. But here we go. But yes, as I was saying, this is going to be a replay of my last placement match. Good luck and have fun. It's always good to say that, because not only is that, just polite, but it's also a good judge of your opponent's skill. I've said this before, but a newbie's not going to respond, or is going to respond with something, that doesn't make much sense. But supply depot at 10, I do believe. Nope. Yep, started it at 10, came at 11 or so. Then I send out the SCB to scouts. Yes, we've seen this several times before. I'm even going to zoom it forward a little more. A little faster. He's just going for a standard build, spawning pool, refinery. He even did the refinery trick to get more larvae than he should have at the moment. You build a refinery, and then as it's building, once you produce another larva with the freed up supply, you cancel the refinery and get the drone back to working minerals, so thus you'll have, say, 11 out of 10. But anyways, nothing special at this point. We're just gonna meander about my base for now until the fun really starts. But yep, just lots of buildings. Second barracks right at 16 or so. Zerglings moving across the map. I put the supply depot up. Personally, like I was thinking earlier, he could have won that battle had he just tried and broken down that supply depot, because my one Marine wasn't going to be able to defeat it. So I'm throwing down more barracks because I had the minerals too, and you got to get rid of the minerals as soon as you can. Because, I wasn't paying very good attention this game. I had 300 minerals. But, that got fixed by producing a marauder or two. But then I believe it was some area. Yep, put down a command center, preparing to expand. Now, my thing with this map is that it is very, very difficult for you to defend your natural expansion. Because if we take a brief look, there are 2 small entryways into your natural. That is almost impossible to defend, because I could try and bunker here, and all he'd do is run around here. If I tried to bunker here, all he'd have to do is run around the map like this, and there's a clean entrance to the back of the natural. This map is terrible for anyone who decides, yeah, we're going to try and expand. You're going to get raped. Because, excuse my language, but, and there's even one more thing here. As you can see, these Zerglings positioned here, these are destructible rocks. All they have to do is break down those rocks, and they have a 4th entrance into your base. It's a really, really difficult base to expand on. And your high-yield minerals, they're out here in the open. You got this vulnerable. You've got this entire area vulnerable. Blizzard must have had, masochistic thoughts in mind when they were building this map, because there is no way you can honestly defend this natural expansion, or any expansion on this map for that reason. But that's not important. What's important right now is that we continue on. Alright. As you can see, he's got banelings to try and bust down my door. We'll take a quick moment to look over the baneling here. Does 20 damage to any unit that's not light, versus light units it does 35 damage, but against buildings it does 80 damage. 80 damage is a lot of damage. And if you look over here, Look at this little junction right here. If a baneling or a group of banelings exploded right here, it would do 80 damage to this 350 health supply depot and this 1000 health barracks. Now, that will break this thing down very fast and bring this barracks down to not feeling very good if, say, 6 or 7 of those banelings come smashing in here. That is entitled a baneling bust because it is designed to counter a Terran who is bound and determined to turtle and then build up his army into something interesting. But that's pretty much countered wholly by having a standing army. The baneling bust only works if you haven't got any standing units. I'm of course got 3 racks going and they're all going to be producing units here, so a baneling bust wouldn't be very effective. But the problem is this quite didn't go as normal, so let's keep going. As I was trying to say, it didn't go as normal as it could have gone. But yes, anyways, as you can see, he's got not much. He's got the baneling nest, some spine crawlers, working off 1 base Zerg on a 1 base mandatory map as we just went over. But I send out my guys to check on my natural, make sure there's no lings hanging around trying to annoy the heck out of any buildings I have, because I'm getting my command center, doing orbital command someday here. There we go. But as you can see, he's rallying more Zerglings and banelings in here, and that looks, that's easily about a dozen banelings. Yeah, well over a dozen banelings. But here we go. Here starts the interesting bit. As you can see, he's got a really big army on my side of the map, and you ask, where are my men? Down here, heading towards his base. So here's where things tend to get interesting, so I'll slow it down and we'll keep going from here. But I have my men rallied there, and watch that blue blob right there on the mini-map. Start killing the Overlord, and the blue blob moves out. They know that my men are across the map, and let's quickly switch to my view right now. Can we? Alright. Right here, you can see me spotting this little blue blob as it snakes its way up. I go, oh, a few units. Oh, crap, that's a lot of units. Move them back and bring up that supply depot. And right there, I decide, too far to go out, so let's just go back. Lift up the command center. Here come the banelings. And right there, I decide, screw it, it's base race time. Stim up. Go kill some stuff. Luckily, I had stim packs and shields on my Marines, but as you can plainly tell, I was screwed. They went straight for my mineral line like any good Zerg player would do if they were right inside your base. Let's pause this for a moment here. There we go. Alright. But, having the Terran advantage that I do, very shortly here, I lift up my buildings. And if we look back at his base, his hatchery's gone. He's got 499 minerals, and I know that that's barely enough to produce a hatchery. So, it's time to chase these drones down, because if I can kill all the drones, I can manage to stop him from being able to produce anymore. But unfortunately, I have Zerglings running around my base, just ready and willing to eat up my buildings lest they land. But as I pretty much knew he was going to do, he came over here to this expansion and built the